cannot lose. We may be behind on the scoreboard at the end of the game, but if you play like that, we cannot be defeated. And we came here tonight.
Keep driving! There you go! There you go!
He's heavy!
I know he's heavy.
I'm out of strength!
Then you negotiate with your buddy to find more strength, but don't you give up on me, Brock. You keep going, you hear me? You keep going, you're doing good, you keep going. Do not quit on me.
Not that we are an addict on addict. Our deepest fears that we are powerful and unmatched on match. It is our light, not our darkness, that our bright light. Your claims to all does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about people that other people won't feel insecure around you. It's not just enough of us to have everything. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberating their minds.
Hey, who would you talk to? What's going on? It's me, Michael King, Mike L. This is Legit Paranormal, brought to you by legitpodcast.com. It's Sunday again. Somehow, it's Sunday again. Guess who's got a cold? Don't have to guess. It is February 25th, 2024. 225-224. I don't know. I would probably tell somebody to go play the number. Joining me as always, Sin, Shrader, Hill. Oh, I need a drink.
Author.
Whew. I can't get through it anymore. I can't get through it. I can't get all the way through.
Whew.
How are you, Sin?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing real good. A reminder, we are on the Parapost network channel. Is that what it's called? Network channel?
Yes. Network Central.
Oh, Central. Ah, all right, cool.
Central.
I got confused. I'm like, network channel. Isn't that kind of like the same word? So that's
The
why I
same
said
thing? Yeah.
it. So Sin, how are you, Timmy?
I'm good. And you?
I get a cold. Yeah. And it's cold in the basement,
not
so put those together. That's why I'm wearing a sweatshirt and a hat that I call it a toque. I don't know what it's called by real people. So without further ado, here comes Jill Shelley. Now, Jill, you are at stcroixparanormal.com. You're with the haunted Boyd House, and you are one of the best at not picking up minor stupid details when you're talking. How are you tonight, Jill?
I'm good. How are you?
You didn't know he was going to use that part, did you?
I did it. It took me a second. I'm like, wait a minute, what? No.
You know what? Actually, wait a minute, what might be a perfect T-shirt for me, because basically kind of what people's reactions when I talk. I take a long time to get there, I guess. So Jill, how are you tonight?
I'm good.
All right. So, is it the newest thing, the Boyd House, or is it? But it is like the main thing that you're doing currently, correct?
Yeah, we have the Boyd House, and then actually I branched out and I just bought another location to a Masonic Lodge. So I have two different locations.
There you go. All right. Larry, Sin, first question I'm going to ask is, tell me about the locations. That's basically what I want to ask. What do you want to ask? Right? The same thing. Right?
Well, yeah, but mine is like, why the Masonic Lodge? Why did that come on your radar so fast?
Well, I bought the Boyd House in 2018, and then we've been pretty successful with that. But then I kind of wanted to try my hand at a bigger location, or maybe like looking for, like nursing home, asylums, I'm always shopping. So anyway, the lodge just kind of fell into my lap when I saw it. It pretty much called to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just have to have this building. So we went out and took a look at it. It was in really good shape. Of course, it needs work, but it's not dilapidated.
Okay. You ever realize you're in a room with two other people that are at a speed that you're not? Because I'm stuck at, you're going out buying haunted locations. No,
Two of
that's what I mean. Like I'm trying to get past that. That's what you're doing. Like you're looking for
Right.
haunted locations to buy.
Yes.
Okay.
Which,
All right.
yeah.
I would never do that. But so I want to make sure that I was clear on what we're saying. All right. So that's something you want to do. This is something you want to do, right? You're not doing it.
Right. Yeah.
Because
Because I mean, I've been, into the paranormal all my life, but the investigating we started in 2010.
Locations.
And,
All right.
and so then going around traveling to other places gave me the idea of I would like to have my own to allow myself to research, other people to research, same thing. So that's kind of where we're at this point in my life. So
Locations. It's a great location, basically.
yeah. So the lodge, like I said, it just called to me and I just had to have it.
Any
No.
residual Masonic rituals that you've captured?
Honestly, I just got it in September of 2023. So I've only been able to investigate it 4 times. And then now, the winter hit, although it's been a great winter, we really could travel more. But yes, we've been down there 4 times and then we'll be open in May for other people to come in. But we've been getting, quite a bit of activity and we've been actually having a lot of people donate a lot of Masonic items to us. So we've got a lot of books right now, like books on rituals and things. So, and I'm just learning the tip of the iceberg about, the Masons and their culture and their history. And it is extremely fascinating.
Yeah. And a lot to it.
Oh yeah. I'm just never going to know all of it, but
No.
it'll be fun to take some of the stuff out of the books, and maybe read them out loud.
Will you though be ever able to know everything because you're female?
Probably not. Just what I find in the books, and maybe I'm not even supposed to be having the books because I don't. These look like official, rituals and all kinds of things. So I'm probably finding out a little bit more than maybe I should be. I don't know. Hope that doesn't backfire on me somehow. But
no, you know what? By the way, I wouldn't imagine that like messing with the Masons' old like somewhat religious type items would cause you any problems. I mean, that just sounds like every horror movie I could think of. Of course, it's going to cause problems. What are we all saying? It sounds terrifying. You're like, well, maybe I won't cause too many problems. You're not messing with like the playground on the street, bending the slide. Right?
Yeah. Well, we do everything safely as best we can. Try to protect ourselves. So we don't get into like all craziness or anything. So
all right. So I gotta break this down because there's the paranormal side of me and the business side of me and the conflict. So business wise, places like this now. The goal is I get the goal of securing the locations. I don't want to call it like monopoly, but here's the thing: like, all right, if I had the money to get like a recording studio, I would do that. And if I could have 2 recording studios, I would do that too. So I get that part of it. That's something I like. You know what I mean? All right, but when I'm going to these places, especially when it comes to the Masons, which is great that I know not a lot about, but enough. If that makes any sense. Like I never like really went into them, but I get it. And I would never mess with their stuff because everything they did seemed like it was, So I mean, aren't you worried, Jill? Like, I mean, that's a push. I don't know if again, not a coward, but I'm just saying that's a tough push to make. You're pushing something.
Well, if you do it respectfully, if you don't mock it, if you follow it, and I wouldn't be like, hey, I'm performing this. I would say, hey, I'm reading this. Is this what you guys did? How was this done? So you present it in a different way where you're not mocking it, you're doing it respectfully, and that way everybody's just getting along just fine.
Is there a man on your team?
Yeah, we do have one guy on our team.
I would think he would get more out of any kind of communication in the Masonic Lodge.
Yeah, they weren't really thrilled with us at first for the women. We were told like, why are you here? You're supposed to be here, things like that. So now they understand what's going on a little bit. They've kind of communicated with that with the Estes session. But I know even when we went to look at it, I was running the spirit box. I was getting like nothing was coming through. And then my husband happened to walk in and I handed it to him. I said, here, you see, and then they started talking. So,
a quick thing. So when someone hears like a spirit or a sound, whatever, that's one thing. When there's communication, that first off blows my mind. All right, but I'm with it. There's a communication between you and the spirit. In other words, you know how to be respectful. Like you know what line not to cross, right, with that spirit, because you can kind of tell in the room with them, right?
right.
All right. So, you would someone that was like, I don't know, like using it as like a Van Halen cover band party room, feel the wrath? I mean, dead serious. If someone went the complete opposite, total disrespectful, are there beliefs you think that because it's intelligent, which again, there would be revenge, right?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, a couple of things, the spirit, I would think that the spirits, if they're not there to really interact with the spirits and they're just having a party, they're just probably going to look at it like, oh my, look, these guys having a party, maybe they'll join in on the festivities. You never know. But if they're being belligerent and like, yelling at the ghosts and being demanding and things like that, sure, you're going to get that anywhere. It doesn't matter whether it's a Mason or some old woman from, you're at some, at jail cell, whatever. If you piss off somebody or push them too far, you're going to get pushed back.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get to that point. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was trying to get you to say just exactly that.
Yeah.
It took a while, but we got there. You want to see them. Yeah. In my opinion, too, if you're there and you're making a joke out of it, if somehow you get slapped out of nowhere, I would not be mad. I'd be
Right.
like, yeah, well, I mean, sin right or wrong?
Yeah. No. If you're being disrespectful, you need to be slapped by spirit or otherwise.
Oh, wow. So you just brought up another level. You keep going. Like you're like, all right.
Just
but,
saying.
Jill, here's my one question. The Boyd House. How long has that been?
Well, I bought it in 2018, but the house itself.
No, I meant I when I say that, that's an old Italian guy's way of saying how long have you owned it?
Oh yeah, 2018 is when I purchased that one.
All right, so okay, that's what I thought. Okay. So how is that like every year? And I swear to you, I want to ask this, as far as taxes, as far as like how the town, what they charge you for it.
Yeah, it's gone up every year, and and because they consider it, it's like considered like an Airbnb, so I get a higher tax on that. Insurance, of course, is higher because I have to have that umbrella policy in case anybody gets hurt.
Yep.
That kind of thing, and taxes in general get raised up. So yeah, everything. It's not a huge money maker. And we've restored the building as well. So when we've got it, we've put the roof on it. We brought it all back to the 1900s. We've put up the Victorian wallpaper, the antique furniture, just kind to preserve that history. We've learned a lot about the history of the main family that lived there that both passed away in that home, the Eckert family. So we actually have like a little memory book with pictures and photos, and we've actually had their grandkids come forward and give us photos and stories and things you won't find in the history book that we've put together.
Nice.
So that people can kind of keep the memory of that family alive, because we do have some evidence that particular family, as well as other spirits, are still in that home. So.
All right, before we get to those spirits, really quick, so no disrespect, there's no disrespect allowed. You're restoring it, and basically, you're just looking to cover the cost of owning the house. That's it, like a break-even type thing would be fantastic at first. You know what I mean? Like, well, whatever the plans are. So that's different than when someone buys a house and they roll in like a brand, and it's a. You know what I mean? That's definitely different than what you do. Would you agree?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm not in it. I mean, yeah, of course you want money. we just started, I think, on our 4th year. We got a little bit of a profit, and then a little bit better this year because we're getting more popular, with more people coming to stay and getting evidence and word of mouth. So that's been great because there's still a lot of ongoing work that needs to be done. I mean, you buy any old location, any house that's built in the 1900s, it's a constant. Oh,
That's
you
my point.
need that. So yeah,
That's my point. You're making money in a non-disrespectful way, but you haven't made money because you own this house. Like that's to me the best way to own a house, as opposed to like you come in, you buy it clear, and it's just it's a little weird. Sin. Can you see the difference in what I'm saying?
right.
Very much so. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about the spirits in that house, because you just said there's a family.
Yeah, we have Fred and Minnie, which they both passed away in the home. They both basically heart attack, strokes, and Minnie's funeral was held in the home for 3 days. 2 of her children passed away in the home. One choked to death when he was 2. One was infancy, and then we have other spirits that we have had come through. Mainly, some more like pre-adolescent children that have come through. We don't really know like where they're from. I can't find anything on a deed about anything, but it's an old town. So our deed starts at 1889 when it was owned by the railroad, and the Sioux Dakota reservation line was actually butted right up to the town, like right on the line. So I'm sure there was some conflict going on there. The town itself was back in the day a pretty booming town. They had 500 people in the town. It was booming back then. They had like the bars, they had restaurants, hotels, they had the blacksmith, they had mills. They were a very busy town. And my house is right on the corner of town, so really it's just kitty corner. You walk and you're in town.
Now you're in Minnesota, right?
This one's in Minnesota, yeah. And that was the first house to have indoor plumbing as well.
Wow.
And, yeah. Yeah, so and luckily everything still works pretty much for now. But yeah, so just a lot of history in the town as well. And then we did have a lady also in the 70s. She passed away in the home of a heart attack as well. So we do have 5 confirmed deaths that we do know of, but we don't know what happened on that land from the 1800s because the house itself was built in 1901. So we don't really know what went on there, because I get the name Henry a lot, but I don't have anything on my deed that correlates that name whatsoever.
All right, so I got a question here. Why do spirits stay at the place where they pass? Like, why does that happen a lot? Is it because the shock of like a heart attack is so? It's a heart attack that it's so much that I'm being dead honest. Like, why do people stay where they died?
It could be a lot of different factors. It could be several different factors. The fact that that might have been their most happy place, to stay. They had their grandchildren there as well as their children and stuff. So maybe that was after, business, because they had a big business too. And the railroad was coming through, and they survived through the Depression and everything because of that railroad. So that might have been their place that they felt the best. You've gotten a couple of darker EVPs though, and I want to kind of go into those. You're not really sure who they are. There was a help me. You're not sure about, if something actually happened that was darker in that house before they got there.
Right. Yeah. I can't find anything in the history books. We've gone to the Historical Society, things like that, but we haven't found anything detrimental that we could find. But some of that stuff you're not going to find in the history books either. So.
You know what? Wow. I'm sorry. I was doing that old Italian guy shake where I'm going, the real history is not in books. There's a lot of stuff that was just not put in books.
Right.
We get to write them, we're going to leave some stuff out. We'll rearrange it. We're writing them. The very first books, we'll do it our way. Here we go. Anyways, continue. I'm sorry. Who's last?
Yeah, Jill, what were some of those darker EVPs you got?
We've had a few get outs that you're not wanted here. We were actually just there yesterday and running an Estes session, and we were up in the hallway, and we had a lot that said, "Leave, get out. I don't want you here." They just kept saying that over and over. We get points too where you just don't feel like you should be there, but we're not really sure who that person is.
So, I'm sorry. July speak for the dumb, the DUMM. We're a group. We don't know what the ESTA session is. I know you two guys are just clicking along with it, but I'm going, okay, it's not Estes, so let me just pace myself. Can you explain that method?
Yeah, so if you're familiar with the spirit box, which that scans the radio stations from one end to the other, we always use the AM. And scientifically, you can't speak in 1/100th of a second. But with using the Estes method, the person has blindfold on and they have headphones on, and they cannot see you, they cannot hear you, and you ask the questions, and hopefully they respond. And we use with Teresa, she's one of my team members who's been told by many, many psychics that she has a huge draw to her. She's the one we call our paranormal punching bag. So whenever we go somewhere, she's the one who gets all the interaction because they're just so drawn to her.
You know what, though? I think you guys hype up everybody has their own guinea pig that they hype up. Oh, this is the best person for the podcast. They know they can get them to go do it. They're going to be the ones that sit down with the headphones every time. If you keep hyping them up, they're the best they can be. They always make you guys, no offense, it just sounds like that. I mean, that's what I would do if I knew I could get somebody to always go do it. Problem is with the group we have here, we have too many people that would just go do it, and not enough to be like, oh. But anyways,
our team, we've all tried it, we've all done it, and Teresa, hands down, there's something special about that girl. I have never seen anybody do it the way she does. We literally have half-hour conversations up to an hour as I'm just talking to you. It's crazy. And she can't see what I'm doing. I'll yawn and she's like, quit yawning. She doesn't know what I'm doing. She can't see me. It's just uncanny how she is. And if you go back and watch some of our stuff on YouTube with her, it is just incredible. I had a lot of people ask me like, what kind of spirit box they're using? And I'll tell them, I go, but you don't have a Teresa. That's what I say, So some people are more open and able to get to communicate and draw that through. And like, I can do it, but it's very short. It's not a conversation. It's just very answer here, answer there. Half the time, it's not even what they're asking me. So there's truly something special going on with her.
The other one I don't know about is the yawns. And the reason I say that is this. I know that the wife could yawn facing the wall, and sometimes I'll yawn anyways, whether I hear it or see it or not. Like, there's some reaction. I'm being honest. There's some weird reaction like that. You can share a yawn. But anyways, the words, as they come out, you write them down for later. You're filming the whole thing. How do you handle, doing the session?
Oh, yeah, we filmed the whole thing. And then, we just put it all together for everyone to see. And the only reason it's edited down is because what it looks like to you that it's happening like back and forth. It is, but there's always like maybe 3, 4, 5 seconds in between, sometimes, 30 seconds. So that's the only way we're editing it up, just to shorten the time. So you're not sitting there 30 seconds and, okay, is she going to say anything? But yeah, that's kind of what we do. So, and yeah, like I said, it's been incredible. And I, back to your yawning where you see that, we've even had spirits ask us to get up and dance, and I'll be like, okay, I'll do it. And so I'll get up, and then she'll be like, and I'll be doing a move, and they're like, no, do it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
So she doesn't know I'm doing this. There's been a lot of times when I get up, and they'll be like, where is she?
Jill, wait, stop. Let's go back to this. The spirits tell you to dance, so you're like. So you just said it so nonchalantly. You're like, I'll get up. And then you said, so I'm doing a move. What do you mean? The Roger?
Well, you just pretend you're dancing. Sometimes you do like the little kick out with your leg, or you'll put your arms up and like, okay, dance with me. And you hope that they're doing it with you. You just pretend. I think if you have fun with the spirits and it's not just your everyday old, how did you die? Where did you come from? questions. That's I think why our team gets a lot of more interaction, because we try to really get them to interact with us, especially if we're with kids. Oh my gosh, the games we play. I mean, we run around and do some crazy things, and people must think we're nuts, really.
No, see, all right. Here's why I don't think you're nuts, because name something that positive energy doesn't help. Like positive energy towards negative energy. You talk about plants, people, like podcasts, spirits. The more positive, it's always the better the results. That just seems like an easy, dumb statement, but it's true. And it's the opposite the other way. So I always thought, like, even handling the paranormal, you put a little bit of humor in it, because some of it's really heavy. So you want to make sure that it's, people, you don't want to depress anybody, but it's good to get across real stuff. Like, so that's kind of the take on it. Sin, what are your thoughts on that? And do you have a question?
I do have a question, and yes, I do believe that. I think this goes into a question I wanted to ask you anyway. How do you keep, since you've had the Boyd House longer, even though it's not that long a time that you have had it, how do you keep things new on your investigations? How do you keep from getting bored?
Well, funny, we just been talking about that. That we're just trying to come up with different new techniques, because I said it seems we're trending towards doing the same type of thing. So yeah, I mean, sometimes you get new equipment, so that's always fun to play with. But we're trying to come out now with newer techniques, different ways, like just maybe holding each other's hands and really concentrating, see if you can get them to come around and do stuff. So just kind of, we're doing a little bit more trying to think outside the box lately, because it like you say, I mean, you do it so many times, it's like, oh, now what are we going to do? So,
yeah.
Sin, if only we could rally the troops to Minnesota, right?
Right?
If we get everybody and drop us down there, where are we going? That's my segue to where are we going next? It's May what?
May 4th is in Florida.
May 4th is in Florida.
With the animal.
And then after that, it's
after that, Gettysburg,
and that's on July
26, 27, 28.
Yeah, so, Jill. Usually, there's another person here that would handle that part of it, because I don't really remember all of it. But yeah. So there's that. Oh, hit the like and subscribe button. I'm sorry about that. It's the Parapost Network. I said that again. Here we go back to this. All right. So, Sin, let me ask you, because I'm gonna the Boyd House. What would be the first thing you'd want to investigate? Like, in other words, I'm not saying you're doing there with intention, but yeah, where would you want to go power wise?
The master bedroom closet. She's got something up there that makes them uncomfortable. So that's where I'd go.
Jill, now does that make sense?
Yeah, there has been a little bit of negativity with that closet. In one of the stories I was told, there was at one time a robbery at the house, and one of the girl who owned it at the time, I can't remember what year it was. I want to say it was in the 60s.
Probably in the 70s. Everything happened in the 70s.
It could be, but they tied her up and put her in that closet. So she was there for quite a bit of time while they robbed her. But we do, and so I think that has a little bit of negative energy to it, just because of that. But also we have heard sometimes like that door will rattle, and then sometimes if you have it open, eventually the dress that's in there will start swaying back and forth. And somebody actually got an EVP at the same time as that dress was flowing back and forth that said, "I love this dress."
All right.
So,
Jill, here's what I realized. I just realized this again. It's Italian American. When I said, "Does that make sense?" I meant she is going to pick a place to go first, and she's going into the hornet's nest. Like, does that make sense? And you answered with, "Yeah, it is really haunted." I'm trying to figure out what, like, you didn't agree with me at all. I guess that. See what I mean by like that attitude?
well,
I've
no,
never
because
been surrounded by so many people with that attitude. That just like, I'll just go up to the attic. That's where I'd go. I mean, why would I go? Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
well, because she's saying she thought it had like a negative or dark, and so
Yeah.
me where I'm just like, because as an investor, I'm just like, oh yeah, let's go there. I've gone places where they tell me this is the worst spot to go, and that's where I choose to go. But interesting that she said that, and then there is stories of negativity attached to it. So yeah, that to me, like I said, that makes total sense. That's why I do it.
One of the EVPs I read about was something like "Please don't hurt me."
Yes, yes. That was I believe that was from the little boy, at least that's the feel that I get from it. Because we had some stories of a little boy that had been abused. And I had actually opened the closet door, and then that's when I got the EVP that says "Don't hurt me."
Wow.
So you just kind of feel like he's probably hiding in there every time maybe he was going to get beat or something. So
Wow.
But about that one, now let me ask you this: would you ever be surprised if a child's voice was something more than just a child spirit? Would that be? Is that beyond the realm of your like how you see things?
meaning like it's a child voice, but really not a child spirit. Is that what you're?
Yeah, I'd say the word demon, but everybody wants to get like biblical and they want to go religious.
Right.
And I'm trying to use a word we can all image in our heads. A demon, yeah, something that's just not right. It's the negative side.
Yeah, I guess. Well, for the most part, you probably really wouldn't know, if they're trying to trick you. So I guess, but I haven't had any, negative type stuff where the more we engage with the children, the more, the worse things get. It doesn't become like, the Amityville horror movie or, anything like that. At the house where and in my respect anyway, I feel like the demonic stuff is out there, but it's pretty dang rare. I think
I would believe it's rare. I would believe it's rare. But do you believe the afterlife?
well, yeah, of course I do, because I believe in the spirits and that they're there. That's kind of really why I started with investigating. Like I said, I've always been fascinated with ghosts and things, but as I grew up and got older, I started thinking about death, of course, as you're getting older and you're like, oh my God, is there really like I just started freaking out. Like, is death the end? Like, I don't want to be buried in a casket under the ground and it's dark and that's it. That's it. Like, I lost it. I had to know, like I had to make communication to realize that, yeah, there definitely is something, where nobody's going to know all the answers or anything, but at least it makes me feel a little better that the darkness is not going to be it.
Do you believe in the premise that we go to a better place or a higher place or just a different place, make a different choice?
I think you go where you want to be. I think heaven's what you want it to be. So I think that's where you go. So if you're one that believes in God and Jesus, you'll go to heaven. If you're somebody who doesn't believe in God and Jesus, but your heaven is whatever it is, Palm Springs beach area, that's where you're going to go. So
If if Sin's heaven was like an apartment, because that's all she knew for some reason. Maybe Sin all of a sudden one day decided she'd never leave in her apartment, right? But my heaven was like the whole beach of Miami. Would it be wise for me to tell Sin about my heaven, or should I just let her stay? You think in the apartment?
depends if she can travel or not.
Yeah. Yeah. Am I able to do remote? Can I go places?
That's my point. Wouldn't you want to know that I created it with a beach? When you want to know that?
Because I don't want to be stuck in an apartment unless there's like, people coming to visit me, my cat's coming back to see, all that kind of stuff.
But would you really want to be stuck in the apartment the whole time while I'm at the beach?
No.
Okay.
I want to travel.
Let's change that to children's ghosts. Children's ghosts trapped in a house. If that's their spirit, which I see this thing, Jill, I have a hard time with that one, because if it is their spirit and we think there's a heaven, why would we not tell them? That's a simple, dumb question, but it's really honest. What do you think about that? Like the theory that is it residual? I get that one. There's different types of ghosts. It's residual, but when it's you can communicate with it, there's something behind that. So I'm thinking spirit, maybe. I can see an older person being stuck in a purgatory or staying where they want because it's more of their will, right? Like when you're older, sometimes literally, like my grandfather, he would have want to stayed on his chair with the TV guide and the remote. That's literally where that guy, if he had heaven, probably would have been none of us, right? Like bare food in that chair, which is cool by me. But I'm just saying, like, I when you want to tell them, hey, by the way, you're having fun kicking the ball in the dark, but you should go up here. Am I wrong when I say that? I guess I am, but I have a hard stance on it, so it's weird.
You can talk until you're blue in the face, but until they're actually ready to go and do something, they're not going to go anywhere.
But shouldn't we tell them?
Whether they're children or not. You can't make a spirit go anywhere. You can't.
So all right. So now I start to walk up the stairs tonight. I get conked on the head. I fall down my stairs. I don't want to stay in this basement for the rest of my life. What if what if that happens? Oh,
You're going to be
God. I think, what did I do? What did I do that I have to stick off in this basement?
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm being dead honest with that. Like, how does that happen? I can see somebody, if they're home, they want to stay there. I get that. But when it's a kid, especially if something bad happens to them, why would they want to stay there, for one? And two, if they are there, wouldn't they want to know about my beach or Sin's beach?
Jill, what is your view on helping spirits to cross?
I think unless they're asking, they want to be there. There's been many spirits where I'm like, can I help you? Do you want to leave? A lot of them are like, no. So they're happy. They want to be there. Maybe some of the kids are confused, but we've talked to some of the kids and are like, you're dead, right? And they're like, yep. And it's like, they want to be there. And if they want help, they'll reach out and ask for it. And people have asked, can I send you over? And do we know, can we really do that? I don't know if we really can, you know?
So that's the thing. All right. It's can we or can we not? Because if we can, if that's on the table, then by using your logic, I could just start tattooing kids. Right? Without anyone's consent, because they don't know better. Oh, yeah, because we're making the decision that they like to stay in a house when they don't know what heaven is. We're letting a kid make its own decision. So this kid's on the playground. He's like, hey, Mike, can you tattoo a dragon on my back? I'm like, all right, yeah, I did. That's the same thing, right? Like, why would we not tell someone younger to cross over? All right, okay. I'll stop. I'm just saying.
So what if this kid had a horrible life? What if this kid was abused every day of their living life? And then when they died, they're away from all that. They're not getting abused anymore. Maybe they're afraid to move. What if they go back into an abusive situation? Do you ever think about that? No.
No, I would never think about that. And I think you even lost Jill on that one. Jill's like, I don't know what she just said. Let me tell you what I think you just said. If a kid dies in a house where he's being abused, right, and his spirit comes back to said house, right, because he didn't completely pass over, and we're agreeing that it's actually his real spirit that's there, and not, again, a residual of the pain he went through, like an emotion that leaves a timestamp. You find that with Civil War things. I'm talking about something that you can talk with, you're going back and forth with. So if that's the case, and if that's the soul, we should get the kid to go up. Everybody should. It should be like a Hands Across America Part 2. And you guys remember that, which is weird that we all do.
Yes,
Jill,
but can you make someone go on? That's what Jill was talking about. We don't know.
But that's my point. So that's my point. So now we're getting to like the truth of it.
But also, you don't know too. What if that kid is there with his family and he wants to be there because his parents are still there? We don't know. So then, if that would be a bad thing to send the kid on. If you just broke up a whole family. So.
Well,
right.
But that'd be a shitty family vacation. I tell you that much. If I got a beach and the whole family could come to the gosh darn beach if they knew about it. It's one of those things where you like. Again, I watch kids play basketball now, and I literally say to myself, I didn't know you could do that. Like, I didn't even think to do that with the ball. Like, I would never do that, and they just do it like it's easy. So it changes. Now, again, I go back to I'm fearful that when it's a child's voice, the best way for evil to get into any situation is to come in like the lamb, right?
Come in
Jill,
Right.
innocent.
Yeah, but you know, you also got to realize who you're playing with too. You know, and again, we just talked about the demonic thing, and that's extremely rare. So I wouldn't say every single child that you've encountered is a demonic child,
Honestly, I think demonic's too strong of a mustard on that one. Like,
or evil, or bad. You could say bad,
so,
negative.
Jill, would you agree that there's a dark side and a light side?
Well, of course there is.
All right. So there's shades of it, right?
Right.
Okay. So this is more towards the dark side. Some of it's darker than other stuff, right?
Right.
Okay. So, Sin, what would you like to say? Because you're being quiet and you just.
Oh, well, I'm going to change the subject.
Why would you do that?
To the ghost cat, because she has a ghost cat. I want to know about the ghost cat. You know, I love cats.
And see, yeah, this one, I'm 100% sold in on this one. The fact that cats will stick around, oh gosh, no, I'm sold. I'm in. Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we just. I personally have never seen the ghost cat. I have heard meowing one time before, but then other people say they have seen a cat. Some of our cat toys have gone off, whether it was spirit or cat related, I don't know. But yeah, we've had a couple people in. We did on the Estes session. A lady said the cat's name there was Henry. So she asked if we could take it for her. So yeah, we just affectionately call it Henry every once in a while while we're there and just see. But we've had other people say, "Oh my gosh, it feels like a cat's rubbing on my legs," or something. I haven't had to have that experience, but I thought that was kind of cool that we've had people say that.
Do you have pets, Jill?
Oh gosh, yeah, I'm a huge animal lover. I got 2 kitties right now.
True. What's their names?
Fifey, which he's named after Barney Fife from the
like
Andy Griffith Show,
Of course.
and then and then we have Little Red.
All right. So Fifey can't be too good looking. No offense, because that name doesn't come out of the blue like Robert Redford. Let's name the cat Robert Redford or Fifey. It doesn't happen. And Little Red's probably a good looking cat. Sin, what do you have again?
I have 3 cats.
All right. I thought it was 2. I thought you had 2 black cats.
3. I
3
have
black
a black cat. I have 1 black cat. I have
the name?
Taz.
What's his name?
Taz for
Taz.
short.
Taz. Okay.
Taz
Number
for
2?
short.
Number 2?
Bella's my little old lady. Bella's the little old lady. She is 13, and she is gray and white striped. And then Tazla's baby is Tiny.
Oh.
Tiny's black and white.
Sounds like a soap opera. Tazla's baby.
He's
No dogs.
he's my special cat.
But there's no
No.
dogs between the 2 of you.
No.
Yeah, 1 cat, 2 dogs. 1 dog is enormous. 1 dog is, I guess, normal size, and then the cat is one of those cats that's fat but thin. Does
Fat
that make
but
sense?
thin?
Her belly kind
No.
of looks like it's touching the ground, but she's not the
Oh.
most like broad of cats. So she's fat but thin. It
The
looks like
the
a,
belly
she
thing
looks
is
like a pancake. She looks like a pancake, basically.
the belly thing
The
is a
pancake with fur.
protective thing.
Oh.
That's a protective out in the wild situation.
Her name's
So
Peaky, and she
that
looks like a
was-
pancake.
The belly hangs down so that predators can grab that part instead of any vital organs.
Why are we having kitten tips with Sin? What
You
happened?
just talked about your cat, and I just wanted you to know that she's not really fat. She's got that
No, she's fat.
hanging
She's fat.
down area.
I talk down to my dogs and animals. I do it out of jest. Like a lot of times I'll quote like old gangster movies, like like a De Niro line or a Pesci. What are you, sick animal? I just do that. I talk down to them, and the neighbors really think that I'm crazy. Now, Jill, the haunted Boyd house, and then now the Mason house. How much work do you see ahead of you with the Mason? The new property?
Oh, a lot. Like I said, it was built in 1861, so it does need quite a bit of work. So we have to do put a new roof on for sure. We need to replace all the windows because a lot of them are cracked or broken. And then we're going to start touching on the inside. Right now, we don't have like any of the running water, heat, electric, that kind of thing. So those will be things that'll come along after we start doing the big major stuff to the building to keep it. So then we'll get back to like right now. It's been pretty good, as far as the painting goes. I think we'll leave that, but there's other things like some crumbling walls and such. So just a lot of work to be done ahead. So I'm excited for it.
I'll tell you that the one part that just gave me like a pain was the plumbing, the running water not being on for a long time, and getting all the pipes so that they're ready to go again. Like, oof.
Yeah, I think it is vacant for somebody said 10 years, but then if I'm looking at from who I bought it from, I don't think it was. I think it's maybe been 3 or 4 years. They were going to do an event center and then they never did anything with it. So I think it's probably been 4 years. I'm going to have to get a plumber out and take a look because right now we just have a porta potty available for people, which is way more expensive than I thought. So in the long run, I'm going to get a plumber out to take a look and see what would be the cost to get one of the bathrooms up and running again.
The thing with it's funny you should say porta potty because the thing what a porta potty is, if it's cold out, porta potty is no big deal. It really isn't. But like when it's really hot out and here's a porta potty at the beach in Rhode Island where we are in the ocean, the porta potty takes on a whole new meaning of just because you got to keep in mind the air. She said it. I'm going to keep going. The air inside of it literally is so warm that you don't want to sweat from a porta potty. Does that make sense?
Nobody likes it in the summertime, but at least with these ones, it's not like when you go to an event and about 7,500 other people have used it before.
Yeah.
So I get that, and then they come once a week to clean it, so it's not that bad.
And does anybody ever wonder who's the guy who just rolls the toilet paper everywhere? Like who's the guy? Because it's a guy. Who's the guy that's just throwing stuff like on the walls? Like not you know what I mean? Paper towel. Right. I mean, like what the frig guy? Like some guy. I'd like to meet that guy just to reprimand him. All right, Sim, what do you get for another question?
So the Masonic Lodge is in Illinois.
Correct.
Keithsburg,
Illinois, yeah.
And then the other is west of Minneapolis, right? So what's the distance between the two?
About 7 hours, 8 hours. Yeah. So so the Boyd is in Boyd, Minnesota, which is more southwestern. So it's 144 miles southwest of the Twin Cities. We're actually about an hour from Brookings, South Dakota. So it's very southwestern. And then the Illinois one, it's more of a southwestern corner as well, I believe. But so we're not very far from Muscatine, Iowa. We're about 30 minutes over the border from that. So, and if people are thinking of like the Quad Cities, I believe we're like an hour from the Iowa Quad Cities.
That's a big difference between your two properties that you're overseeing.
Right. Yeah, they're quite a ways away from each other. Being the lodge in Illinois was not my ideal. I was trying to stay with Iowa because it's not that far, for me to drive between that state. But it just, like I said, it called to me and it was just something I had to have it. So I just kind of thought, well, I don't live at the Boyd house or I'm far from that too. So let's just do it. So
the way that you're doing it though, is great. Like, I've been doing like paranormal shows. I forget how long ago it was that you were on the first time with us. And I think Buddy was here.
Yeah, it's been
I really don't remember how long ago it was, but it's been like 3 some odd years. And it's like hearing people do things and I hear them do things in different ways, right? Because when people complain about being charged to go into a haunted location or it's like, dude, we're paying the bills to keep the building up. There's going to be a charge. So those people right there, I chop out, right? It's where it gets to, the gift shops bigger than the place. When it gets like that, I just go, And no, I really do. Inside of me, you just know it's like, oh, that's not the right reasons, and you're gonna get way too many people here to be constant. It's just not. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be a bus terminal. Can we agree on that?
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Sin, you get what I'm saying with that? Like a bus terminal, if some locations have become bus terminals, and I just wonder, because don't you wonder if other energy just gets brought in and thrown into the mix sometimes?
Yeah, and it does get
Like
thrown
someone's
into
energy might come into a building and leave something behind. No, do you not believe in residual energy, Jill?
Well, there's the residual, and there's some people that have attachments to them that they either pick them up, drop them off. You don't know what's going on.
That's what I mean.
So and then there's things that you don't know I'm not watching those people. I don't know what they're doing. Are they whipping out Ouija boards? Are they doing something not supposed to be doing satanic things? But do I know? I don't know what they're doing. I know, are they creating portals? There's just so many different things that everybody does. You can't control what happens. So I think it just creates a whole nother energy too.
Paranormal investigations should be more like trying to herd a couple of kittens because, they're hard to keep together, but only a couple because you only do a couple. Kittens will get everywhere. That's how it goes, right? As opposed to raising cattle and bringing them all in. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, because all those cattle have their own emotions and things, and when the place gets saturated, like like when people are allowed to be there all day long, I don't know how that doesn't become an attraction. When does it change? Help me, guys. When does it change from like a haunted location to literally like almost a Universal Studios knockoff RC Cola type attraction? What's the difference? Like how many people tell the truth? Because what Jill does is different, right?
Yes.
But I'm talking like us having like drive-in movie night at the Boyd House, and they put up a gigantic screen, and Jill charges $5,000 a car to park and watch a movie, right?
I could retire at that.
Everyone, like, slow down, Jill, slow down. She's got people parked at the spot you can't even see the screen, right? But she sells like 20 cars. Jill's gone too far. But that's not what she's doing. But
Boyd House is in the middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. So people have to want to go specifically to that. Yes, absolutely they should.
Because the cattle don't come running through. That's my point.
Right.
Trying to make. And why I think what Jill is doing is the right way to do things, and it's different, like that corporate feel that I get sometimes from some of my past guests. Jill, would you agree that that's your tactic as opposed to, I don't think you're gonna do a drive. Are you gonna do the movie?
Oh gosh, no. We just we're the small potatoes of the group. We'll probably stay that way. We just recently started selling T-shirts, and that's only at conventions. And that's about as far as we're going. Have a T-shirt, great. Here's a free pen. So it's like at
the very least, treat it like a band. You got to have a T-shirt. You should have a sticker.
Right.
Come on. Well, that's the fun of doing it. You know what I mean? Like for real. Like we are doing. So we've been doing all these. We're at 12 podcasts a week, and they're all different, right? But they're all in the paranormal except for one. And because of that, we've kind of going to do like a legit podcast and ghost investigating team. Oh, I'm not me. They want me to be the edge, to hold the camera and do all the geek tech work that I do. Mm-hmm. I'm not going on and all that stuff. But the problem is, I'm telling you this, all the people that are on the Sin, tell me I'm wrong. Every one of them wants to be the one that would go in. Yeah. Right, Sin? Other than me. You think one person that wouldn't be the one, be like Jill just said, that Ghost said dance. I was like, hey, I got up and I did a move.
Yep. Yeah. Everybody else. Yeah. Everybody but you. Yep.
Yeah. Yo, a ghost tells me to dance. I swear to you, my first reaction would be like, why? Why? What do you mean? Why now? What do you mean dance? You know what I mean? They'd be like that. What do you mean dance? What kind of dance? But if it was a move, when Jill said move, I'm thinking,
yeah,
Cabbage Patch, the Running Man, the what's this one? Come on, Cabbage Patch.
The floss, I think, isn't it?
The flossing and the
the flossing, yeah.
Oh, but there's the electric slide, which
which
look, I'm afraid that when I do pass, right, and I get to this holy gates and there's all the kids and all the dogs, because I believe they just go straight to heaven, and I'm there, that whoever's watching the gate's going to go, yo, you, didn't you do the electric slide back in like 91? And I'm going to go, yeah. He's going to go back up in the line. Just go all the way. I don't even want to look at you right now. Go all the way back. I'll let you in, but go all the way back. I'm afraid of that with the electric slide because I used to do that. And
I did too, so I'm going to be standing with you.
Jill, you did the electric slide because you used the term, I got up, I did a move. So I know you did the electric slide.
Well, I don't know if any of my moves were any like fancy like that.
So now, wouldn't you picture Sin doing the electric slide 100 times more than you'd ever picture seeing me? That's my point. That's my point of all of it, Sin. I should have said, someone should have came up and tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, sit down. Sit down. Just sit down. No, you need those people in your life, and they're never there. They're never there. I'm sorry, Joe. This is what I do. What do you got coming up that you'd like to discuss that we can get out there as far as upcoming events or shows you're going to be on or anything like that?
Yeah, we're not really doing any events. We're hoping maybe in 2025 to do maybe like a Paracon or something over at the lodge. But nothing with the Boyd House at this. We're working on doing something with the next town over in Boyd Video, doing a little public investigation with a place that they have to help raise money for their historical society. So we're going to work on that. It's not set in stone, but we're thinking October. And so we're just kind of just doing just one investigation ourselves for the team this year. Everybody's just super busy, getting through school. Alex just had twins. So everybody's just kind of a little busy right now.
I hear that. What about you, Sin? What do you got going on?
Jill, thank you for coming on.
Oh, yes, you're welcome. It was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed having you on here. My books, Mike, are on Amazon, all 5 of them. Sin Shrader Hill Author. Please look those up. I'm on Facebook, Sin Shrader Hill Author. You can reach me, Sin Shrader Hill Author @gmail.com if you've got any stories you would like for me to think about putting in my next books. Got one coming out this spring, Signs sequel, so Signs of Our Loved Ones, and then a darker one coming out this fall of All True Ghost Stories. Check them out.
Nice. Now, Jill, what is more pompous? King Michael or Sin Shrader Hill Author? Tough question, right? You got to at least think.
Here.
Yeah, but you had to at least think. Come on now. Thank you for being on the show. Tomorrow night we have, what is it? Legit Ladies Spill the Tea. That's the one show we do that's not paranormal, but to me, it's paranormal. It's a bunch of the legit ladies talking about dating and what it's like nowadays, and it's terrifying. Actually, if you like getting scared, if you're a guy and you want to be terrified, watch that show because it's like, oh no, there's checklists and red flags and beige flags and all this stuff, and I'm thinking, oh God, help me if that ever happened. And then we have is it legit?
Is it legit?
Yeah, we've been having there's been an issue with that one with a couple of British paranormal channels and a couple of local paranormal things, and us trying to sidestep it, but still getting caught up in the when someone asks you your opinion, well, you're not. I don't know how you are, but in other words, if someone asks my opinion, I'm not going to say. I'll say no comment, but I'm not going to say I can't give that opinion. That doesn't happen. If I really wanted to give an opinion on something, you ask it flat out, what do you think? I would tell you, and whatever. You accept the consequences with your opinion, and locally, I just gave my opinion, and I think everybody agreed with me, but. You know those agreements where you acknowledge it, but you don't want to acknowledge it? Because it was just kind of one of those yeah, but you don't want to really go in all yeah. And I didn't care that anybody came in all yeah, but it was just I had to I can't be asked too many times and not give an opinion because, I have an opinion. I'll give you an opinion. You just may not want it. Now, I'm going to keep rambling. But so let's see. So Sarah Paranormal met Kobe. Do you know that?
What?
Sarah. Paranormal.
Met.
Paranormal. Kobe.
Yeah.
You know if she met my dog?
Oh, see, I forgot the name of your dog. I apologize.
Yeah, not the star athlete, but my dog.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Here's what I want to tell you about it. She said, now, Jill, all I tell people is how big and stupid he is. That's my dog. I love him. That's my guy. That's who I roll with. But he's big and stupid, and I call him Dumbface. He likes it. But I keep saying that he's huge. And Sarah meets him, and she goes, holy fuck, he's gigantic. And I go, what have I been saying the whole time, you guys? She said, we all think you just exaggerate anyways.
Well,
yes,
all
right.
We do.
Son
We
of
do.
B.
I'm sorry, but yes, we do.
Joe, imagine that. Like, imagine you tell somebody how big and dumb your dog is. They come see your dog and they go, "Oh my God, that's big and dumb," and you're like, "What was that? What have I been saying? Like, what's the point of saying this?" Yeah, he's enormous. He's 130, 40 pounds. His mom was a Massador, which is a lab and a mastiff. And for some reason, when a lab and a mastiff, you get a Massador, it's much taller than a mastiff, right? But usually it looks like a Great Dane almost. It gets like thinner. But add the fact that his dad was a short, squat, fat pit bull. Kobe grew high, but then got like big.
He's stocky.
Dude, my dog's head will put my feet to sleep, and I question if I'm ever gonna move him again. Like his head, it's just like a rock, and then I lose all feeling. And he's a cuddler, which is Joe, let me tell you something. One of the worst moments I've ever had with my dog was I felt him breathing on my neck, the back of my neck. His gigantic head. No, I woke up to gigantic dog breathing on the back of my neck, and I. Here's the thing, my mind woke up like this. Something's wrong. Like there was no waiting for my brain to say those words. I went, something's wrong, and I realized, I'm not joking. I don't know why I'm telling the story, but it's true. His left paw was over my arm, and he was somewhat spooning me. Like when his head is close to the pillow, you get, and he's like being a person. And he's huge, long, like really. It was terrifying. I didn't like it. I told him this. I told him it was inappropriate, to be honest. All right, Jill, thank you for being on the show. For real, though, I'm going to talk to Sarah Paranormal. She's the one who puts together all. We're going to a couple of different places to do investigations, but to also do like the podcast there and do the stuff like there and promote the places. So you guys, that perfect would be. So Sarah will be in contact because I'm not gonna. I'll drop the ball on that. Sarah handles all. For real. I just have to know my limitations and stuff like that. I can't do. All right, let me wrap it up. For Jill, Shelley, Forson, Shrader, Hill, author. It's me, Mike Levy, King, Mike L. This was legit. Paranormal brought to you by legit. Podcast.com. Please like and subscribe. We have 2